Hey y'all, happy March! Can you believe it? We are getting into spring, and in just 4 weeks I'm going to be putting plants into my garden. We have celery, cabbages, kohlrabi, and onions started in the house, and I'm really excited to get into that. It's part of the season. I wanted to share with you some seeds I picked up yesterday and some other gardening tools, and let's see, I spent a total of less than $35 on all of this, and so I wanted to just show you this because this is a very affordable way to get many items for your garden. So let me show you. Okay, I didn't used to read much, but now I do. So this is a book I got for $2 at a secondhand store in town. It's called Jeff Ball's 60-Minute Vegetable Garden. If I can find a link for it, I'll put it down in the description. But this book was published back in 1992, and that's copyright on the back. It has examples of structures that you can make in your garden with how-to plants inside of it, as well as like for first-time gardeners, these are the easier methods. For more advanced gardeners, these are easier methods. And I was amazed to find that the concepts in this book are like what the garden community are talking about today. And they talk about it like it's something new, but from 92, this man was talking about it, and I'm sure it was stuff that was talked about before that. So, one of the things I really like about his book, and it's a little outdated, it talks about using a personal computer for doing data, but he talks about using it to store your data and keep it, keeping records, meticulous records, but he only talks about that for a moment. He talks about rotational gardening, and he gives you like visuals of how to plant and what plants to put next to each other. He talks about companion planting, and then one of the things I really like that he talks about is natural pest deterrents by using different plants in your garden to keep the pests away. And he says what type of plant to plant for this bug, and he'll say like onions are good for all of these things. So I had cabbage moth larvae on my cabbages last year, and in this book I believe it said, what did it say? I think it was asparagus you plant next to them and it keeps them away. Asparagus and tomatoes are great because the bugs that go to asparagus won't come around because of the smell of the tomato. So anyways, that was one of my books. $2. And then this book was also $2. It has a $6 sticker on it, but I don't know when that was from. This was only $2. It's the hardcover. The author of this book is more interested in using fertilizers and pesticides that are made in factory. They do talk about some methods that are natural. So, you know, take it with a grain of salt, but there's really great information in here. And this one has colored pictures. And I was reading this for a while last night. I haven't like gone through the whole thing. But there were just so many like nuggets of wisdom, and they talk about like different styles of gardening. I believe they don't really go too much into container gardening, but most concepts in here you can apply to container gardening. They do say in this book that if you do plant in containers that you have to use fertilizer more frequently, because the wind dries out your container pretty quickly, and anything of substance is leached from it. So anyways, great concepts in here. This is called the Ortho's Complete Guide to Vegetables. So if I can find this online, I'll leave a link in the description as well. Okay, now the fun part. I got seeds and starter sets for onions. Alright, so here's my receipt, and the total that I spent that's coming out of this bag was $19.32. Each of the packs of starter onions were $3.29, and then the seeds were 75% off because they're a year old, but they will still plant and produce fruit. It's just that you'll maybe have fewer of the seeds that germinate, but it's still worth your money. Okay, so I got some white onions, yellow onions, and red onions. So there's 100 in each of these packets. Alright. So they were just over $3, so 3, 6, 9, so this was $10 for 300 onions. So I couldn't pass up on that deal because a pack of seed can be over $3. They can be easily $4 or $5 depending on the variety. So I was like, yeah, you don't get 100 seeds normally in a pack. Oh, and you saw me pull this out. I got organic chives. So this was 75% off. It was originally $2.49. So for all my seeds, I spent a total of $9 on my seeds. So $9 on my seeds. I have chives, I have dill, basil, yellow pear tomatoes. These are like some small red tomatoes. Black corn, yellow bell pepper, and then I have 2 varieties of cucumbers. I got 2 varieties of string beans, the Garden Golden Wax and the Garden Kentucky Wonder. I got butternut squash, zucchinis, which I needed. I only had like maybe 1 pack of zucchini in my seeds from previous years. Broccoli. So I got all of these for $9. So I just wanted to encourage anyone who saw any of my previous videos and you were like, she spent how much on seeds? This was $9 plus about $9 for my onions. So it doesn't have to be expensive. Oh, and to say where I got these from, these and the onions I got from a local co-op, and then the books are just from a secondhand store. And then I just look for garden books when I go to secondhand stores. So you don't have to buy your seeds at Lowe's or even on an online brand of seed, because seeds you get in a catalog tend to be pretty pricey. So I'm out in the country, we have co-ops, but I'd look around your area and see what locally where you live, what they offer for seeds, not like a big name brand box store.